Hi, everyone. We'll be getting started in just a few minutes. As you're joining in, go ahead and drop in the chat where you're tuning in from. I love to see where everyone is watching from today. Make yourself comfortable, and we'll begin shortly. For those of you coming on, introduce yourself and drop where you're tuning in from in the chat for me, and we're going to get started in just a few. Okay, so let's get started. I know that life is life, and we all have things that we have to tend to. So I don't want to take too much of you guys' time today. Let's just go ahead and get straight to it. Once again, welcome to day one of your diaper cake journey. This is more than just a crafting course. I just want to say that this is the beginning of learning from creativity, how this can be something that's much, much more meaningful, something that actually brings fulfillment and income into your life. So today we're going to set the foundation for what's possible when your hands create something that your heart really believes in. Right now, I want to talk to anyone who's a beginner. If you've ever created a diaper cake before, please type yes in the chat. Type yes in the chat if you've created a diaper cake before. Great, great, great. For those of you who haven't, you're going to be stepping into a new path. In this course, you're going to learn how to simply use crafting skills that can transform into real opportunities. Opportunities that give you freedom, flexibility, and purpose. Here you gain a proven system, creative confidence, and the ability to earn from home on your own terms. Diaper cakes are not just gifts. Diaper cakes are not just gifts. Stay with me. Diaper cakes are not just gifts. They're a legitimate income stream that allows creativity and practicality to work together. And yes, this is something that you can truly build, and I'm going to show you how. If you stick with me, this is just the introductory course. This is just the beginning. This is just basics. But if you stick with me, I will show you over time how you can really build a business surrounding diaper cakes. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. I won't say much. My name is Kay. Of course, I'm the creator and founder of Party Favorite Craze. For nearly 2 decades, I lived the corporate life, structured schedules, constant pressure, success measured by promotions, paychecks, and performance. On paper, I looked successful, but internally, I was exhausted and I was disconnected from my purpose. When I became a stay at home mom, everything changed. I went from duty calls to diaper calls, from front lines to diaper changes. Motherhood brought joy, but I was lost. I felt so lost. I even think I went through a period of depression. Like I really had some lows. I guess you can say I was functioning. My baby was well taken care of. I was just basically doing everything that I needed to do to take care of her. But deep down inside, I felt like something was missing. I felt like I was lost. Like I did not know what to do. Like I wanted to do something that allowed me to build again, something that was going to be tangible. Everything just felt off. I felt like I lost myself. I didn't feel like I had anything that I can actually say felt like mine. I started making diaper cakes simply to keep my hands busy. I heard that crafting actually, help with depression, help with motor skills and staying active. I was someone who was always active. So just sitting at home, taking care of the baby, it just was not what I was used to doing. I was always active, always in the gym, always working out, always moving, always performing. So I didn't, staying still for me just was not cutting it. I think it was just causing me a lot of lows, a lot of depression, a lot of like hopelessness, a lot of anxiety. So nothing fancy, just diapers, ribbons, and small baby items. But something unexpected happened in the midst of this. It started out for me just wanting to make a diaper cake for a friend of mine. As I created, the noise in my mind started to slow down. The overwhelm started to soften. For the first time in years, I felt calm, focused, and proud of something I had made. It wasn't about perfection, it was just about creation. It was about that creation, something about creating something that I had created, building something again, just putting my hands on something. It just changed everything for me. Crafting does something powerful to the mind. When your hands are engaged, Your thoughts, they settle into the present moment. Anxiety quiets and the focus once again returns. The repetitive motions, the rapping, the tying, the arranging, it creates a rhythm that just almost feels meditative. Like it kind of canceled out the noise for me. And every finished cake restored confidence. You begin to trust yourself again. Science actually supports this, guys. Creative activities reduces stress hormones. It releases dopamine and activates reward centers in the brain. Crafting isn't just relaxing, it's healing. It was healing for me. As I said earlier, my first diaper cake was simply a gift for a friend. She loved it so much she asked where I bought it. So when I told her I made it, she said something I never forget. She was like, "You should sell these. You should absolutely sell these." That moment shifted my perspective. I didn't start selling them right away. I did another. My great nephew was actually expecting. So I did another one and my sister said the same thing. So that moment, those moments shifted. It wasn't about getting rich overnight. It was about realizing something I enjoy could also support my family. It could just take me to another level, and it can also help me restore my peace, restore my mind, and just find my purpose, because I just felt like I was just living to be a mom. And although that brought a lot of joy and that's great, I still just, something was missing. I didn't feel fulfilled. So my first sale wasn't huge financially, but emotionally it was monumental for me. Someone valued what I created enough to pay for it, and that validation unlocked everything. Let's talk about opportunity. Standard diaper cakes commonly sell between $60 and $200, guys, depending on the design. Custom creations can reach even higher price points. I've seen them go for $260. Look on Etsy if you think I'm lying. Many creators, they maintain strong profit margins because the materials are very, very affordable and customizable. Beyond physical cakes, there are additional income streams: digital templates, tutorials, courses, partnerships, and repeat customers. Many students earn their first income within the first month. With the consistency, part time creators often reach meaningful monthly income, and some grow this into full time businesses. This is a scalable creativity. This is scalable, guys. Think about how much people pay for physical cakes, wedding cakes, three-tier cakes. Look it up if you think I'm joking. This can be very, very profitable. So not only is this profitable, many students I've seen earn their first income within the first month. The turnover is not long, guys. This doesn't take long. If you follow what I'm telling you and you stick with me, I'm telling you, this is an introductory course, as I've said before, but you can really earn some serious income very, very quickly if done the correct way. A lot of part-time creators reach meaningful incomes, monthly incomes. And I know of some people that have actually turned this, like myself, into a full-time business. This is scalable, y'all. This is very scalable. One of the most powerful parts that I love about this business is the flexibility. I do have a toddler now. She only goes to school 5 days a week, 3 hours. So I'm always moving around, always mommy. I'm mommy majority of the time. I guess you can say 95% of the time I'm mommy. So this is one of the things that actually helps me out tremendously. You work when life allows, early mornings, during nap times, evenings. The startup cost stays very low because materials are purchased per order. I'm going to show you guys that too. I'm going to actually do a course on how I structure my business, how I set things up. That's going to be additional in an additional course. I can't cover all that now. We don't really have the time for that in this Diaper Cake Challenge, and I want to basically focus on the foundation and the basics of it. But follow me, and I'll explain everything to you. You don't need a storefront. Your kitchen table can become your headquarters. I literally have a table set up in my bedroom because my daughter has taken over my office. My home office is now her full playroom. So you don't need a storefront. Find a spot in your home. I'm telling you, it works. You can start small, one cake at a time, and grow at your own pace. There's no pressure to rush. This business adapts to your life, not the other way around. Throughout this course, you're going to develop professional design skills that turn these simple materials into market ready creations. You're going to build a confidence, especially if you've ever thought, I'm not creative enough. Yes, you are. You'll learn repeatable systems that make creating faster and easier over the time. Take your time. And most importantly, you'll learn how to attract paying customers and turn creativity into consistent income opportunities. This isn't guesswork, it's a system that you can follow. So today is going to be about commitment. You're going to have to say it out loud to yourself. I'm building creative income from home. You're going to gather your starter supplies. You're going to prepare your creative space, even if it's just a small corner. All you need is a little corner and a table. And remember, you don't need experience to begin. Progress matters more than perfection. Your creativity has value. Your hands can build more than beautiful cakes. They can create freedom, purpose, and income. Get it done. Done is better than perfect. Your creativity has value. Your hands can build more than beautiful cakes. They can create freedom, purpose, and income. I'm so excited to see what you're going to create next. Today, we're going to start with the basic foundation. We're going to build our 3-tier layers. I'm going to show you how to do the folded diapers, and I'm going to show you how to do the fan method. And we'll go from there. So tomorrow we're gonna get more into the prep work. It's gonna be day 2 through 5. It's gonna be VIP. We're gonna discuss how to upload your files, how to print, how to cut, and prep all of the assets that are gonna be on the diaper cake. So your homework for tonight will be. I'll explain that after we finish the foundational part of it. I'll tell you what your homework should be for tonight. So let's get started building. Before we begin building, let's go over everything you'll need to successfully create your diaper cake. Having your supplies prepared ahead of time will make the entire process smoother, more enjoyable, and stress free. First, we'll start with the core structure materials. You'll need diapers in size 1 or size 2. Any brand will do. These will form the foundation of your cake tiers. Large rubber bands will help secure each tier tightly in place, and it'll also help attach some of the other accessories and accents that we'll be adding to the cake. And finally, 4-inch paper treat sticks or the dowels will provide additional reinforcement for our toppers and other decorations. Next are going to be those decorative elements that you see on the cakes that I've shown you, which bring personality and style to your diaper cake. You'll need some false flower bouquets. You can grab those from the Dollar Tree. Actually, the ones that I use were specifically from my local Dollar Tree. And you can find them at pretty much any dollar store. Don't go too all out in your first building of these cakes, guys. This is supposed to be budget friendly. Also, you're going to need some decorative paper shred. You can get that from the Dollar Tree as well. The decorative mesh rolls, some wire ribbon, and you'll also need like a little small, the 5/8 inch roll of ribbon. You just need one. You don't need a lot. You won't need a lot for these projects. For your printed wraps and panels, you're gonna need some either matte photo paper or glossy photo paper. I prefer that matte look, but some people actually have told me that they prefer that glossy look. So it's up to you. Don't buy anything that's very, very expensive. We're gonna go over printer settings and things as such to make those prints look vibrant. So it does not have to be the most expensive brand. Just grab you some matte paper and some glossy photo paper. Also, you'll see that I use color cardstock as well. For these tutorials that I'll be sharing with you, you're going to need 2 colors. I'll be using a lighter shade of pink and a medium shade of green. You'll also need some brown craft cardstock, or if your local dollar store has the I don't know what you call those things. The gift boxes that you put like the t-shirts in. I found some actual brown craft type box gift boxes that I actually use for the ABC blocks on the cake. Now let's cover the adhesive and the tubes. You'll need some type of craft glue, some adhesive tape. I use the double-sided tape. I actually think I use Adtech, the permanent, but any adhesive tape that's double sided will do. And you can actually get some craft glue from the Dollar Tree that you can use. Also, you'll see that I love my hot glue gun and my glue sticks. Majority of the things that I do with diaper cakes, I use hot glue guns and my hot glue sticks. So I do use the little pop dots every once in a while, but for this project, you can leave those out. Just grab you some craft glue, and if you don't have a hot glue gun, you can actually get those from the Dollar Tree as well. I think they sell those. You don't have to have anything fancy right now for this, guys. So, and finally, we'll add the finishing touches. Get you some floral garden beads, the pearl beads that I'll be using in here. I actually grabbed those from the Dollar Tree. They're the floral garden pearl beads. They're in the floral section of the Dollar Tree. I'm not sure if you can find them in the Walmart. You may be able to find them at Walmart, but I know specifically the ones that I use, I grabbed from the Dollar Tree. Grab you a pair of baby booties and a small stuffed animal. Most of the items that I use for this course, you can grab from the Dollar Tree. I'm trying to make this as cost efficient as possible for you guys to get started. So today we're gonna build our base diaper cake. It's gonna be 3-tier. But before moving forward, you want to take a moment if you have diapers and rubber bands to grab those things. If you want to do this along with me. So if you're gonna stick around for VIP, each day you'll get a homework assignment. I'll go over what you need to do during that day, and your homework assignment will prepare you for what's coming the next day. So make sure you have all your materials. You want to preparation is the key. Normally, I prepare everything before I actually start assembling. So you'll see that I'm going to try to make this a step-by-step process for you guys too. First thing I normally do is I used to build my 3-tier cake, the blank foundation, and then I prepare everything else and go from there. So let's get started. Of course, we have diapers, and there are a few other things that I have that I utilize. You don't need them all. You'll see that I have an ink pen. That's an actual cake board. That's a 12-inch cake board. That's a cutout circle that I have just to kind of give me an idea of where the center is on my cake board. I have a sheet of copy paper, my hot glue gun. Those are my cake cutters, 10-inch, 8-inch, 6-inch. Those what I use to actually give me an idea of how wide my cakes will be. I have some white rubber bands, more white rubber bands. I have various sizes of large rubber bands. Tissue paper roll and my tape. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna just use that cardstock circle that I cut out and draw a ring inside the inner circle. That'll just help me to indicate approximately where the center is on my cake board, so I know exactly where to glue where. Well, I won't say exactly, but approximately where to glue my tissue paper roll. So first I'm just gonna tape it to take the copy paper to the tissue roll, well, the paper towel roll. So nothing fancy. I just like to cover it because I don't like the way they look. That's why I tend to use the pool noodles. I'm going to tape the seam. I'll tape it all the way down. And then secure the end. Now that we have that wrapped and secured, normally I do this, I try to do it very neatly. I won't just put as much. I usually like put some dots. But for time's sake, I'm just trying to get it to stay in place. However, normally when I'm gluing anything, especially when I'm dealing with paper and diaper cakes, I normally utilize dots. I usually like all my glue. I never really like just squeeze the gun. I usually just kind of like tap it so I can get just like a dot of glue where I need it to be. That kind of keeps me from making big messes when it comes to my glue gun. Trying to make sure it's fully dried and it's sturdy before we start putting these diapers on here. So now I'm gonna take the rubber band and double it. Don't always use rubber bands. Honestly, most of the time, I do not individually rubber band the diapers. I simply roll them and I insert them around the base, making sure that the edge is secured by sitting it up against the base. And sometimes I just hold it there. I'll play with it to make sure it's in place before I let it go. Because, like I said, I don't have rubber bands individually wrapped around my diapers. I'm simply securing the diapers to the cake base with the large rubber band. I roll my diaper and I'm going to insert it inside the larger rubber band, placing it extremely close to the other diapers and up against that paper towel roll. And I know I didn't mention the cake spinner because I really don't know the technical name for it, but it does help. I'll make sure I add that in the supply list. Keep going around. And I know some people teach that you do 3 rows of diapers for that bottom tier, but I find that when I do that, my tier is just too wide. And it's important to make sure you have a decent sized tier, especially if you're going to do this on a business level because size matters. Size, height, when you're packaging and shipping, it matters. So I try to make sure that my cake is approximately 10 inches at the bottom. So you'll see me put my cake cutter around there to ensure that I don't go over the 10 inches because I think that it actually measures about 10 and a half inches. My baby's up, y'all. I hope y'all don't hear Sesame Street in the background. If so, I apologize. So now once I have that one done, I'm gonna put another rubber band around it because I doubled the first rubber band to try to secure the inner diapers to the roll a little bit more tightly. Until that base around my cake is almost full. To me, this tier seems like it's the most difficult one because 10 inches, it just, I'm not sure, but trying to fit them in, it's not the easiest thing. You just have to play with it though. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just know if you want a 10-inch bottom that you're not going to be able to do 3 rolls of diapers. Maybe with a size 1, but these are size 2. I don't know if I mentioned that. These are size 2 diapers. Pamper swaddlers, in case anybody wants to know. Once it starts filling out and it's almost as wide as my 10-inch cake cutter, I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna remove it so it won't be so difficult to remove. And then I might add like one or two to fill in after that, but no more than 2. I try to make it no more than 2, so I don't have it too wide. You just have to play with it. I fly through these things. As soon as I get on camera, I get nervous, y'all. I added that second rubber band because I like to have one towards the top and one towards the bottom. To me, that's how it stays pretty stable and secure and keeps its form and shape. My daughter's watching Sesame Street. I almost started humming. It's the letter of the day. Don't mind me, y'all. If I start humming, don't mind me. I listen to it so much. So now I'm gonna put the middle cutter on, and I'm gonna double the rubber band again. And I'll start the same process again. And if you do want to use individually rubber band each diaper, it's up to you. I don't do that. Typically, I do keep clear rubber bands on hand for that purpose if need be. Um, Sometimes if I'm doing like a different shape or want to add it in a different way, I keep those on hand for that. But typically, I don't usually rubber band the diapers individually. I can feel one more. They're up against paper roll. And I'm just going to stick those in that same set of rubber bands. Hands on the rubber band. You can kind of have a feel for it. You don't know if it's too tight. It'll leave a real big indentation. That this isn't too bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and put them inside of those. And then I'll just add an additional one at the end. And the way my camera sits, it's kind of hard for me to actually roll on the table. So I kind of roll on my lap, if that makes sense. So that's why you guys don't see me rolling it. Going in and filling. I'm actually about to take that from around there before it's too wide to remove it. And I counted for y'all this time. I had to go back and count though. I counted. I had 21 total at the bottom, 15 in the middle, and 7 are gonna be at the top. Give or take. I used to say that's an approximate because it doesn't always, I don't think it's always the same amount. It just depends. I'm not rolling the exact same way every single time or positioning the exact same way every single time, but it's approximately that amount. So in total, it's about 43 diapers for this one. Just play with it and push it and maneuver it and try to get the look and the shape that I want. Some designs I focus more on it than others. It just depends how I'm going to be designing the cake. Sometimes I'm very picky about how they sit. You'll see me undoing things like that. I felt like the rubber bands were too tight and the indentation on the diapers were going to be too much, so I removed it. Thinner one. Just spreading them out. The rubber bands, positioning them a little bit better. So one is near the top and one is near the bottom of the tier. All right, our last one. I did double that rubber band, y'all. I don't know if you saw it or not. All right, y'all been here with me for a while now. Who's gonna do this for homework and who's working with me now? You're gonna do it for homework. Let me know in the chat. If you're working with me now, you don't have to stop. I'm one of those people, I don't like to stop because then I kind of lose my train of thought or I'll start doing something else. So working with me, don't stop. If you're building it now, I'm gonna do one or two more and then I'm gonna leave it alone. My rule of thumb is when it gets close to filling up my cake cutter circle, I'll take it off and I'll only add a maximum of three at the most. Most of the time, I try not to go past two fillers after I remove it. And there you have it. That's our roll. Now we're gonna move on to the fan. Okay, now we're gonna start the fan diaper cakes. I'm gonna add the 10-inch cake cutter around the base. That cake board that's underneath is actually 10 inches. I'm gonna take about 6 diapers, line them up, stack them together, grab a section with my right hand, take my left, and start fanning them out. I want to say I'm going to extend the diapers about a half an inch. from the edge of the previous diaper. I'm gonna grab a few more and I'm gonna continue the process. I'm gonna add about 3 more and continue the process. I never count diapers, guys. I should, knowing that I was gonna do this course, but I just kind of grab and go. I want to say that the bottom tier usually take about 25, 27 diapers. How tight you're gonna wrap around your base and how you fan them out. You want to make sure that as you go around and as you're coming to a close, that you're overlapping the outside of where you started. Now I'm going to start filling in the inside to secure that center base, which is now a pool noodle. And I just wrap that pool noodle the same way I wrap the paper towel roll with a sheet of printer paper, regular copy paper. I cut the pool noodle down to about 13 inches. I gave you an example with both because pool noodles are not always accessible all year round. Sometimes I can find them and sometimes I can't. And I'm just gonna try to shape that together and secure it with the rubber band. The mold it and play with it a little bit. And then you take it off. I'm gonna secure it with another rubber band and try to make it a little bit more stable. Play with it a little bit more. Trying to make sure that that pool noodle is pretty centered. It's not gonna be perfect, but we do the best we can. Trying to center it as much as possible. Just adjusting the fan out spacing a little bit. It's just aligning the rubber band around the tear. One's at the top, close to the top, and one's closer to the bottom of the tear. And now we're gonna add our middle cake cutter, which is 8 inches. The set I have is 10 inches, 8 inches, and 6 inches. Bear with me, guys. I was supposed to have my Amazon list for you guys, but I'll have to add it before this challenge is over. I do have a supply list, but I haven't added all the links, so I'll get that to you soon. I apologize. But this weekend was pretty rough. I actually lost a close loved one, so please bear with me. Give me a little bit of grace. I'll get it to you as soon as I get a chance. We're gonna do the same thing that we did with the other. We're gonna start off with a stack of diapers. I want to say I have about 12. And I'm gonna start fanning them out. It looks off-centered, but it has to hang over the side until we start to fan them out, and then we can center it. Once we get some around the other side, we'll see. We can start and getting the tear more centered. You want to add a few more. Adding a few more to secure that base. It didn't feel tight enough around the middle. Space those out a little bit more. And we're good to go. Now we need to secure the tear with the rubber band. Well, 2 rubber bands. One at the top, one towards the top, and one towards the bottom. I'm going to remove the cake cutter and get the rubber bands a little bit more spaced out to secure it a little bit more. And shove another in there. A little bit more. tight around the base and secure it. Now let's do our last tier, which is going to be approximately 6 inches. I have another method of doing a span diaper cake, but it's a little bit more complicated. So that'll be something for tutorial. They fumbling in my hands. In a second. Let's try to start with about 4. I gotta shove those in there. Oh, all six may fit. I don't know if that is 6 or 5. Sometimes I'm looking at them and still can't tell how many it is, especially when I'm fanning them. I'm gonna add another one. I'm gonna have to double that rubber band because the ones I have are a little bit large. I'm gonna secure with another one, but I'm gonna double that one as well. I love math, y'all. I know how to count very well, but I do not like to count the diapers because as I'm adding, I always lose track of the number of diapers that I'm using. So unless I put them to the side in one stack and say, okay, this is the amount that I'm starting with. I've never kept track of the amount of diapers that I'm using at any given time. I'm always adding them as I go. So forgive me, y'all. Okay, that was the pancakes, guys. That's gonna be a wrap. I need to go spend some time with my family. Or in VIP. We'll continue tomorrow with uploading, printing, and cutting the files. You've seen the fan diaper cakes. You now know how to do both. So you guys are going to have to choose, and that's going to be your homework. Any of the any questions that you have, any feedback that you have, go to the school community. That'll be the best place to get information. That's why I'm going to actually add a complimentary price list for you guys. I'm also going to add the updated supply list. Give me a few days. As I said earlier, I did lose one of my loved ones on Friday. So I'm just asking you guys for some grace. I'm trying to get everything done within the next couple of days. But like I said, I'm gonna leave now because I do need to spend some time with my family. So if you have any questions, just know that I'm gonna answer them. I'm gonna do a frequently asked question video at the end of this challenge, and I'm gonna upload that for you guys. I'm gonna try to answer everyone's questions. I won't be answering questions during the challenge because, especially not while the recording is going, because I lose my train of thought. I cannot do answer calls and try to train at the same time. It's not going to happen. I will be so lost. So I'll do a frequently asked question video at the end of this challenge, and I'll try to answer everyone's questions. If you need anything, reach out in the school community or reach out to me on IG, and I will see you guys in VIP tomorrow. And if you haven't upgraded to VIP and you want to continue with us tomorrow, just go to partyfavorcraze.com and you can do so there. Click on upgrade to VIP. See you guys tomorrow.